Madame Jean, secrétaire générale de l'Organisation internationale de la francophonie, Excellences, chers collègues, Mesdames et Messieurs, dear friends, it's my great pleasure to open this international conference in the new Armenia with a new face and a new future. Indeed, this event has tremendous importance, and I will explain why. First of all, before saying the words of opening ceremony and sharing with you some of my ideas, I would like to say my warm-hearted thanks to Madame Secretary General and her office and the whole organization for not only having the idea and sharing this vision with us of having the business forum of Francophone countries here in Armenia, but also doing utmost and working hard to make this event happening. It's my great pleasure as well. In fact, I would like all of us to thank Madame Secretary General for this and her office for this wonderful work. I will take this opportunity to thank also my colleagues here in Armenia who have done tremendous work working, and that was led definitely by Mademoiselle Atamian and her team. And of course, I would like to thank my colleagues, Monsieur Shahen Avakian and Monsieur David Papazian and their friends and colleagues. So this is happening. And why it is important, why the Business Forum of Francophone countries is important. First of all, the whole event of having the heads and leaders of Francophone countries coming to Armenia, a country that is a part of Francophonie today, is a historic event for us. Secondly, the Business Forum is the one thing that will stay with us, and I hope I'm going to open the first Francophone Business Forum in Yerevan, but not the last one. So I hope to have future Francophone conferences and business forums here in Yerevan, and bigger and bigger and bigger. Why it is important? Because first of all, let's be practical here. Francophone countries, led by France, are not only about language and culture. It's much more wider. Francophonie, represented here, is a huge business of hundreds of billions of dollars, huge economies of hundreds of billions of dollars that are, of euros, sorry, bigger than dollars, that are connecting the Europe with Africa. I think it's the only and the most important access from the north to the south, helping the south to gain and to come to the bigger world, and helping the north to explore new territories, new ideas, new younger generation, new younger states of Africa. On the other side, Armenia represents a specific place in other part. We, as a state, were a part of both East and the West. We were always at the crossroads of East and the West. This nation living here for thousands of years. I was sharing with some of you colleagues yesterday that this is a country of thousands and thousands of years of a history, and a city that you are is 2,800 years old. And this is not a virtual calculation. We have the old castle with the facts on it, with the spreadsheet of the counts of the kings, everything. 2,800 years of a civilization in this city. But that's not only the history. And I was yesterday referring also to the wonderful event in the New York Metropolitan Museum, that an exhibition which is called Armenia, that has opened just recently. And that exhibition was telling the story, not by Armenians, by Americans from Metropolitan Museum, about the Silk Road. Whoever is in New York, I will suggest the next 2 or 3 months to go and visit that. And the story is about Armenians and Armenia in the Middle Ages, when the Armenian traders were a big part, and somehow they were sort of a controlling part of the Silk Road, from Manila to Calcutta to Samarkand and Bukhara, and Toulouse to Manchester. So this nation was not only a historic nation. This nation is not only a nation culture. This nation is also a trading nation that was on the Silk Road for ages. So the idea here is how do we connect the Silk Road to the axis, north and west in Europe and Africa. And that's my dream. My dream to have Armenia as a part, not only as a part of Francophone wonderful community and a family, but to also be the one that will help the Francophone countries, those from Europe, Canada, and Africa, to do their trade and business in the vast territories of Eurasia. Let's not forget that Armenia is the only country in the whole region that is a member of Eurasia Economic Family, that is benefiting from the absence of taxes and customs duties with Russia, some of the Central Asian republics, Belarus, and others. And on the other side, Armenia has signed a very deep agreement with European Union. So we are really East-West country. And we are really the one that wants to repeat its success of Middle Ages. Now, 21st century, Francophone countries, led by France, Canada, Switzerland, Belgium, a big group of very healthy young African countries. Where are their strengths? Of course, when we speak about the businesses, the names that comes to our mind are the big names, starting from Dassault, to Thales, to Credit Suisse, to Nestlé, to from Bombardier, to Beccard, and all of these are fantastic companies. They do worldwide business. To be honest, when I'm thinking about Africa, even daily, when I want to know the news about Africa, I don't go to BBC, I don't go to Russia Today, I don't go to Al Jazeera, I go to Russia 24. Because that's the channel that presents to you the real story that comes from Africa. On the other side, this huge industrial base that France and Francophonie has can be matched with the young Armenia. With the young Armenia. And I come here to greet you as the new president of a new country that has a young new prime minister and a very young new government. Everything is young here. Everything is focusing to the 21st century. As you all know, Armenia had a revolution in April. Some call there a Velvet Revolution. Some of them call them a New Armenia. I will call it Young Armenia. But that was a tremendous achievement by our country and the people, Armenian. Not only Armenians living here in this country, but another 15 million living abroad. Tremendous achievement that without any conflict or without any civil war or any damage, the change has happened. The change continues. As I told recently to some of our journalists, it's not a sprint, it's not 100 meters to run, it's a marathon. We have to design our future for the next coming years and years ahead. But we have to start running with the speed of a marathon, the speed of a sprint initially. Speed of a sprint, but having a marathon to be run. But there was, and there is another revolution in Armenia, but that unfortunately was not noticed by the world community. The Armenian Revolution of April was on every television, well, every channel. Everybody knows about that. And wherever I go today, I hear about that. But there's another revolution that has happened in this country and is happening today that is not fully realized and noticed. And you are in the middle of that revolution, which is called Tumo. Tumo is one of the signs of the new revolution in Armenia. The revolution that Armenia is focused, not only young by spirit, it's not only young that has young government, it's not only young that emotionally we look into the 21st century, it's not only young that we are the generation and we are the nation of 21st century, but we are actually doing it here in Armenia. If I want to match the great names of French, Canadian, Swiss, Belgian, African companies, I can match them because I have the vision of building here in Armenia the future, the industry of 21st century, the new high-tech, the new virtual world, and TUMO, an extraordinary event or organization that is a new way of educating children, younger generation, to be a part of not only science, society, but also part of the business. Revolutionary way of doing that. That is, in fact, now will be exported from Armenia to France, to Moscow, to Doha, to Kazakhstan, is our sort of a notice to the world that we're not only young by age, we are not only young that we are dreaming to be in the 21st century, we are indeed in 21st century. And that's my dream, the Armenian revolution of 21st century, to match with the huge power of Francophone industry and to create a match where the Northwest will sort of marry to the East-West. And I hope that Armenians again and again will show to the world that not only in the Middle Ages we were controlling the Silk Road, but we can sort of be a big part. I'm not intending to control it, but I would love to be a big part of this new world and the new Silk Road. Which in many ways it's not only a road or a railroad, but it's also a virtual road. So welcome to Armenia. Welcome to 21st century in a city that is 2,800 years old. And I would love to be in a position to open the second Francophone business forum here in Yerevan together with all of you. Thank you very much. You can be all very sure the atmosphere of friendship, friendliness, and stability that you feel here will continue in the future. The Armenian Revolution in April has shown that it was not only without any blood, that it was a revolution of love and friendship. It will change the country smoothly. Armenia has very strong units of its industry. One of them, for example, is the IT sector. And Armenia is not only TUMO. There are dozens of TUMOs, of different startups in Armenia that have wonderful power. They work already with big international companies. And amazingly, a lot of them work with the Silicon Valley today. I would love to see Francophone companies in IT, high-tech working here. Another sector, banking sector, the revolution happened. Everything was absolutely stable. Armenia is a country that has one of the most advanced banking sectors in the region. I mean, it's the only country probably from the CIS that international banks are here. They were here from the first day, they have stayed here. They have pulled them out from other countries of the CIS, but HSBC, Crédit Agricole, Raiffeisen, Gazprom Bank, Greek banks, Lebanese banks, Persian banks, they're all here. So there's a stable banking financial sector. The country is changing itself. So this country can be also a gateway for you. You can come and register your company here. In a country that is becoming more and more open, predictable, stable, and also legally open. A country where the law and order will work more and more and more. You can have your company registered here and do your business in Kazakhstan, Belarus, Russia, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, or indeed in the region. So this could be a hub for you. So let me again share with you the vision that this country can be the one that can help the companies of Africa to be connected to Eurasia and help the Eurasian businesses working together with Africa. There's a huge future for Africa. I mean, everybody looks at Africa. I think if you see the international interest to Africa, that's the biggest future of the planet. On the same way, Eurasia has a future with the vast territories, natural resources, and the manpower. So being in the center of that huge opportunities, it's great privilege. So once more time, thank you very much. Welcome to Armenia, and I hope that this business forum will contribute to this friendship, business development, and the future of the whole Francophone world. Thank you very much.